Hi everyone, it's Myriam and welcome to my first video of 2019. So first of all, Happy New Year. I hope you guys are well, that your new year so far has gone well, that you had a nice break if you had one, if not, that you are well regardless. Thank you for joining me for this video. It's going to be a sort of year in review type video, a looking back at 2018. I'm going to be flipping through the paintings I did this year, looking through sketchbooks, reflect on the changes that occurred in 2018 because it was such a pivotal year for me. I made some very big decisions that affected my life quite drastically, and it changed a lot of things, and I just want to look back on it and kind of reflect and take stock of everything that changed and how it went, and just generally share with you my journey so far as a full-time artist. So I hope that you'll find this interesting, and I'd love to know in the comments what you thought of your 2018, how things changed for you, what you're hoping for in 2019, that kind of thing. I will have a looking forward video where I'll talk about my goals for 2019 in a couple of weeks, so you can stay tuned for that if you wish. But in the meantime, let's look back at 2018. So while I talk about all the changes that occurred for me in 2018, I thought I'd show you a little selection in chronological order of the pieces I created this year, with the paintings and some sketches and studies, just generally the pieces I liked and made this year that I was quite fond of. It won't be everything I did this year because it was quite a bit more than what I'll be showing you, but it'll be highlights of what I preferred and what I'm most proud of. So 2018 was mostly a big year for me because I finally made the decision to quit my job and become a full-time artist. As some of you may already know, I used to be a prosthetic makeup artist for the film and TV industry, and although I really enjoyed that job, I don't think it fitted me very well, and I'd always wanted to be an artist, and so I decided to take the leap and actually try and make that work. In February, I decided to participate in the Month of Love Art Challenge organised by Christina Carroll. So the 3 pieces that you'll see now are pieces I created for the challenge. 2018 was also a year where I decided I was going to be more serious about selling originals, which is something I'd always been quite afraid of before. And I actually managed to sell 2 of my paintings in the first 2 months of the year. So the first piece that you saw me post in January, I sold quite quickly to a really lovely, loyal client, and then the first piece of February, the golem, was actually bought by a really super lovely art friend of mine, which is just amazing, and I feel really blessed by that. In March, I launched my Patreon page, which was incredibly stressful and incredibly scary, and I, to be honest, didn't really believe that anyone was ever going to pledge anything. I'm a bit too cynical for that. But it turns out it's actually going really well, and all my patrons are just the most amazing, lovely people, and I'm absolutely blown away that so many people are willing to support my endeavours in that way, and I literally could not have done what I did this year without their help and support. And for that, if any of you are listening that support me on Patreon, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You are absolutely amazing. In April, I can't say any major events happened. I mostly painted this piece that you see here and was not very happy with it, so I don't think I posted it on anywhere really other than one post on Instagram, and then it was part of a processed PDF on Patreon. But other than that, I was a bit of in a rut. I was trying to find myself, I was trying to juggle Patreon, so it was all a bit of an experimental month. May was my birthday month, and I turned 28, in case anyone's interested. But mostly my friend Nadia Rosa, who's also a wonderful artist, I'll tag all her social media down there, created an art collective which she very generously asked me to be part of, and we had our first show in June, so I was mostly preparing for that and being quite excited about the whole concept. And then in June it was our first show with previously mentioned art collective called the Nappy Artist Collective, which was really quite a lot of fun. I haven't been able to participate in anything more with the collective since then because I've been really busy, but hopefully this year I can come back and work on it more. And then I also created one of my biggest paintings to date, which is the one that you see here, Phosphenes. I absolutely loved working this big, and I really hope that I can do bigger paintings in 2019, because I think the bigger you go and the more enjoyable you find it, the more difficult it is to go back to smaller formats. July was a little bit strange because I was really busy on a lot of different fronts, but I didn't have much time to actually do any art. I had a few sketches in, but not many big paintings. I needed to be abroad for a family matter for a few days, and then as soon as I got back, my boyfriend and I were signing a contract on a new flat together. So at the end of July, beginning of August, I moved out of the bedroom I had been in for about 3 years in a house I was sharing with 6 people to move into a new flat with just my boyfriend. August was mostly us settling into the new flat and getting to grips with living together, and then in September I was back to making some art. I had a lot of catch up to do because the move and the wedding and just a lot of things happening over the summer just set me back quite a bit. So I had a lot of painting, I had a lot of admin to do, a lot of things for Patreon, and I had to prepare for the biggest time of the year, which was Inktober and Christmas. And then obviously in October I participated in Inktober once again. I really wanted to try something a little bit different that time, so I decided to go for red and black ink. And goodness, that month was absolutely intense. I had a lot going on anyway. I had a wedding, I had a hen do, I had just, not mine, a friend's. I just had friends visiting. It was just all quite intense. I had a lot of social events happening, which is quite unusual in my life in general. But then I also had Inktober happening. I actually finished it a little bit late and it went into November that time. But it was another really amazing Inktober and I'm really glad I did it. November and December were actually another couple of really hectic months because I just released my Inktober booklet for 2018 plus a 2017 second edition booklet, and I was dealing with all the sales of that. I was dealing with finishing Inktober. I wanted to put together a Christmas sale, and I also had sponsored videos to release, and I usually fly home back to France for Christmas about mid-December, so I needed to do all that before the middle of December. I did manage to sneak in some painting though during December just because I missed it so much, and I actually created one of my favourite paintings of the year, which you see here. It's entitled Internal, and there's a video on my channel if you're interested in watching that, and I'm really happy that that's the note that I finished the year on artistically. So here you go, my 2018 in review. This is the first time I do such a video because I've only been on YouTube for about 2.5 years, but it was really interesting for me to look back on this year because, as you can see, it was quite full of big steps and big changes. So even if no one's interested in watching this video, at least even for me just personally, it was just a very interesting thing to do. So I'd love to hear again in the comments what you thought of your own experience for 2018. And as usual, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all of you that have been here with me in 2018 and in 2017, and any of you that are joining me for 2019 or planning to stay for 2019. I hope you'll enjoy my videos in the coming year. I definitely have quite a few plans for upgrading my content. I'll also be hopefully creating even more artwork and just reorganising my life so that I can create more. And yeah, I've even started a bullet journal for 2019. Very, very minimal. I'm not one to doodle in that kind of thing because I just need it to take me the least amount of time possible. But I will probably show you my bullet journal set up in my looking forward video in a couple of weeks if you're interested in seeing that. It won't be that exciting. I warn you now, even though I'm a full-time artist, there won't be any artistic value in that bullet journal whatsoever. But if you're interested in knowing how I plan on planning my 2019, then stay tuned. But in the meantime, take really good care of yourselves, and I'll see you next week. Bye everyone.